Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 13 Review. Taylor Sheridan's self-indulgence derails painfully uneventful penultimate finale. I thought the penultimate episode of Yellowstone would be full of exciting, game-changing moments that set up a thrilling series finale, but I was wrong. The end is closer than ever for Taylor Sheridan's TV show, and the writer continues wasting time the show just doesn't have. Instead of progressing Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2's most intriguing conflicts and stories, Give the World Away, is full of unnecessary fluff that, at the end of the day, is forgettable. No one is going to look back on Yellowstone's penultimate hour and remember exactly what happened during the episode. Yellowstone Season 5's Episode 13 mostly revolves around the auction, which should be much more interesting than it is. Beth's desperate for money, and her solution is to sell everything they have. By the hour's end, the Duttons have raised a little over $30 million. It's enough to hold them over for a year, but after that, the future is unknown. Thankfully, Case has a plan to save the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch sooner rather than later. That mysterious reveal is being held for the Yellowstone series finale, which makes sense because Episode 13 contains little to no excitement. Prior to its premiere, one of Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2's most talked about storylines was the brewing war between Beth and Jamie. However, the two characters barely shared any screen time in the first 5 episodes. Jamie does call Beth in Episode 13 and yells at her that he knows her secrets, along with John's and Case's. However, he is just repeating his threats from before. Nothing progresses in their feud here, leaving it up to the finale to somehow dig deeper into the Dutton family war and end it at the same time. The first 5 episodes of Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2 set up Beth and Jamie's war for failure, which is impressive given the siblings' history. Beth and Jamie's feud has been building for years, leading to what was supposed to be a satisfying payoff. However, now that their war has finally arrived, the series has slowed down the story for no reason. Given that Beth knows Jamie is somehow associated with their father's death, one would think she would be doing more to seek revenge. Instead, she has just been focused on saving the ranch, which is understandable, but much more boring to watch than the battle between her and Jamie. Meanwhile, Jamie is busy with Sarah's death in Yellowstone Season 5. Episode 13 does nothing to correct these mistakes, putting more pressure on the finale. Rip is arguably one of the most important characters in Yellowstone. However, he has almost no intriguing or complex storylines in Season 5, and Episode 13 continues neglecting him. It seems as though everything is happening around Rip instead of to him, and the episodes don't give him much room to react or advance his character arc. Meanwhile, Taylor Sheridan's Yellowstone character, Travis, is getting more screen time than ever. Give the World Away wastes so much time on Beth's trip to Texas. Ultimately, there is no real reason for Beth to check up on Travis, and it feels as if Sheridan just wants his time in the spotlight. The Travis part of the episode does nothing for the plot other than to prove Travis is good at selling horses, which isn't necessary for us to know. Travis' story is boring and cringeworthy, and it just contributes to the hour's lack of development. Big moments are hard to find in Season 5's penultimate episode. The auction is one of them. Case teasing his plan is probably the hour's highlight, but even that scene is underwhelming. Since not much happens, the finale has a lot of work to do. The last episode must wrap up various storylines: Yellowstone's fate, Beth and Jamie's war, Case and Monica's future, etc., and give all its characters satisfying endings. Perhaps the Yellowstone series finale successfully checks all these boxes and is a thrilling hour of TV, but based on Episode 13, I wouldn't get my hopes up. ###******************************************************************************************************************************************************************************############################################################################################################################################################################################################# Taylor Sheridan's self-indulgence derails painfully uneventful penultimate finale ***. Season 5 of **Yellowstone** has been a study in contrasts. A series oscillating between sprawling landscapes and claustrophobic family drama, gritty authenticity, and overwrought melodrama. As we approach the penultimate episode of what promises to be a turbulent finale, Taylor Sheridan appears caught in a creative tailspin. Episode 13, an installment with all the trappings of a pivotal chapter, instead suffers from an identity crisis, indulging in self-important posturing while offering precious little narrative progression. ###********, a missed opportunity for momentum ****. After episode 12 hinted at the storm brewing within the Dutton family and their empire, the stage seemed set for explosive developments. However, episode 13 meanders through half-baked storylines and redundant dialogue, draining the tension that had been meticulously built throughout the season. What could have been a tightly wound powder keg ready to explode instead feels like a slow burn with a damp wick. The pacing is the episode's most glaring flaw. Sheridan, known for his ability to wring tension from silence and subtlety, leans too heavily on extended scenes that go nowhere. A protracted argument between John Dutton, Kevin Costner, and his daughter Beth, Kelly Riley, rehashes their well-worn father-daughter conflict, offering little new insight into their complicated relationship. Similarly, Jamie's Wes Bentley political maneuvering feels stagnant, as his supposed master plan against his adoptive family is obscured by repetitive monologues and thinly veiled threats. Sheridan's penchant for long, contemplative shots of Montana's rugged beauty, usually a highlight of the show, is overused here, amplifying the sense of inertia. There's only so much sweeping cinematography can do to mask a lack of narrative urgency. ###***** character arcs in a holding pattern ****. One of the hallmarks of **Yellowstone** has been its richly drawn characters, each carrying the weight of their personal demons and ambitions. Episode 13, however, feels like a disservice to them. John Dutton, who has always straddled the line between patriarch and anti-hero, is reduced to a reactionary figure, brooding and barking orders, without the gravitas that once made him magnetic. His conflict with the Broken Rock Reservation and the corporate vultures circling the Yellowstone Ranch seems to have lost steam, overshadowed by his familial strife. Beth, a character often lauded for her razor-sharp wit and unyielding ferocity, is rendered one-dimensional here. Her obsession with destroying Jamie has become a tiresome refrain, stripping her of the complexity that made her a fan favorite. Instead of evolving, she's stuck in a loop of vitriol and vengeance. Jamie fares no better. While Bentley continues to deliver a compelling performance, the writing fails to capitalize on his potential as the series' wild card. His scheming, once unpredictable and intriguing, now feels telegraphed and hollow. His partnership with Sarah Atwood, Dawn Olivieri, lacks chemistry, and their scenes together do little to advance the plot. The supporting cast fares slightly better, but only marginally. Rip Kohlhauser and the bunkhouse crew provide brief respites of authenticity, yet their moments feel like filler, a diversion rather than a meaningful subplot. Monica, Kelsey Asbill, and Case, Luke Grimes, whose grief and struggles have been a poignant undercurrent this season, are conspicuously sidelined, their storylines left to languish. ###*********, Taylor Sheridan's self-indulgence ****. Sheridan's fingerprints are all over this episode, for better and for worse. His dialogue, while often poetic, veers into the self-indulgent here, with characters pontificating at length without saying much of substance. There's a sense that Sheridan is more interested in showcasing his philosophical musings on loyalty, power, and land than in crafting a cohesive narrative. The episode's lack of urgency and focus is emblematic of a broader issue with Yellowstone in its later seasons, an over-reliance on Sheridan's auteur status. While his vision has undeniably shaped the series into a cultural phenomenon, it feels as though the show is now buckling under the weight of his unchecked creative control. The balance between character-driven drama and sprawling Western epic has tipped too far in favor of the latter, leaving the former to wither. #####*********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************c Despite its shortcomings, Episode 13 isn't without its redeeming moments. The cinematography, as always, is breathtaking, with panoramic shots of Montana's snow-dusted plains and jagged peaks that underscore the Duttons' fierce attachment to their land. The score, a haunting blend of strings and folk influences, adds a layer of emotional resonance even when the writing falters.